Today I want to cover using landmass on your landscapes and maybe a little bit about using the new layer system that's also involved in that. So I'm going to start out right away. First things first, you need to go to the modes panel. This will be different if you're not on 425. It will be a tab for landscape. Okay. And we're just going to create a landscape. Bam. Step one. Done, right? We can now sculpt on here. A little hard to see. And be good, right? Like, you could sculpt like that, like normal. Okay. But that's not what we want to do today. So what we're going to do is you're going to need to go to the plugins that you have. And then just search landmass. Okay? And landmass itself, the reason we want to use this is these are pre-built blueprints for modifying your landscape. So what we're going to do now that that's enabled, mine's already enabled, but we're going to come over here. We can't use it yet. We need to select our landscape, and then we're going to hit enable edit layers. Okay, are we sure we want to edit layers? Doing so, yep. We want to. Okay, done, right? It's that simple. We can now, if you want to, you can come in here. Okay, and now that we are in here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to sculpt, and now they have this little blueprint. Okay, so now this is where the importance of landmass is. We now have these pre-set up blueprints. We can make our own as well. Based on these. So we're gonna hit landmass, and you can also explore your content browser. Go to, if you enable plugins, you can find landmass and add one on here. Okay. Oh, my cat's here. Hello, cat. Hold on. Pause the video. We did this landmass, and there you go. It's that easy to add a landmass feature. And now you can see, instead of us having to draw, we can actually now use splines to control our what is happening in here. And the best part about it is we actually now have all these settings. These settings, I'm not going to go over each one individually because there's a lot. But basically with this, I'll cover the basics of the brush, and that is you can tell it what kind of thing you want it to be rendering. And then you can tell it like, hey, only do this kind, like only do minimum. Select it by clicking over here, which means it's going to just go whatever the minimum distance down is. We can invert, we can do, you have a lot of control here in blending. It's just like Photoshop. So you gotta kind of think of this as we're just kind of painting onto the terrain as like a render target. So basically it's like using Photoshop and using layers there. And then this is just telling it, hey, you know, add, subtract. We can change things like the fall off, the angle, like how it actually calculates the angle. So now for here, instead of doing what it was before, which is based on angle, it will do it based on the width of it, which means it will spread out a little more. These do have a cost, so if you have them, if you have like 20 plus added, you're gonna start feeling a little bit of an editor slowdown depending on your computer setup. Because if I remember correctly, they use distance fields, or something of that. I won't pretend like I know. But I do know that they will add up a little bit after that. Now, if the nice thing is, if we were using an actual landscape with a material, we could have some nice blending here where it auto blends and things like that. So either way, so now there you go. That's how easy landmass is. Let's look at the river tool. So the river tool is basically the opposite of this, where it's a spline. And this is where I'm having issue. This, for some reason, is not working correctly. So we're not going to use that. Okay. At least for my build, it could just be something personal. And look, it's still there for some reason. That's so interesting. Okay. So what we're gonna do though is let's go here, and we can actually to cover layers as well. Instead of just adding it all to one layer, we can actually just come here, right click. Let's create a new layer, right? And this is where layers come in handy. So if we have something like this, where, so we know that on layer, which we'll name main, we have these. And then on this layer, what I want to do is let's use this layer to actually control this, right? So we can actually come here to control the edges, things like that. And this is where we can add detail, right? And then the nice thing is, because it works with the layer system, we can just turn it off, or we can invert it. So we can actually just take that data we have, and the great thing is we don't want to see it, we hide it, right? So we can actually then, this is where it really is like Photoshop in fact that we can actually use multiple layers, use different settings. I could have sworn it worked on the landmass stuff, but apparently it doesn't. That's something we'll have to look at. Hopefully that covered the basics and you can go and explore landmass yourself. And yeah,